Today I'm reviewing the INNOCN 49 49Q1S OLED curved gaming monitor, a wide 5120x1440 panel with a 240Hz refresh rate, 0.03 milliseconds response, USB-C power/dock, HDMI 2.1, DisplayPort, and built-in speakers. If you want to check current pricing or availability, it's linked below. I've spent extended time with this display on my desk for gaming, productivity, media watching, and mixed workflows. What follows is grounded in how it behaves in everyday use, not just on paper. Let's set expectations clearly. This is not a minimalist office display or a basic budget screen. It's also not a tiny, ultra-high refresh esports panel. What it aims for is a roomy, immersive experience that balances high speed with broad visual real estate, essentially bridging productivity and gaming in a single display. In gaming, the 240Hz refresh rate paired with the OLED panel's fast 0.03 milliseconds response delivers smooth motion. Competitive titles feel fluid, with quick transitions and minimal ghosting. You don't get the extreme refresh rates of focused esports monitors, but for most players the difference between 240Hz and anything higher is less perceptible than the difference between a 60Hz panel and this. The 5120x1440 resolution across a 49 inches curved panel gives you an ultra-wide field of view. In simulation and open-world games it feels more panoramic than a standard 16:9 setup. The curvature draws you in without feeling overwhelming. For productivity, I found a room to tile multiple windows side by side without the cramped feeling that smaller monitors can induce. Image quality from the OLED is the standout here. Blacks are deep and uniform, and contrast feels impactful in both dark and bright scenes. HDR content, streaming shows or supported game modes, gains dynamic range that feels more dimensional than typical LCD alternatives. That said, as with all OLEDs, managing static UI elements over long periods should be part of how you use it. These panels are excellent, but they benefit from mindful care with persistent content. Connectivity is practical. USB-C with 90 watts power delivery means you can connect and power a laptop directly while also using the display as a hub for peripherals. HDMI 2.1 and DisplayPort handle high bandwidth needs without fuss. I tested it with both PC and console sources, and switching inputs was straightforward. Let's talk sound and ergonomics. The built-in speakers are serviceable. They're good enough for casual media watching without external speakers, but they don't match the depth or presence of a dedicated audio setup. If you care about audio quality, you'll likely still pair external speakers or headphones. On ergonomics, the curvature and size demands space. You need a broad desk to sit at the right viewing distance. Too close and you end up turning your head more than you want. Adjustability is present, but the physical stand doesn't offer as much range as some premium alternatives. In my setup, I found a balance that felt natural, but this is worth thinking about before purchase. Noise and thermal behavior aren't notable. The panel is essentially silent in normal operation. There's no fan noise or distracting hardware sound, which suits long sessions well. Now let's position it realistically. If you're after a compact, quiet office screen under 27 inches, this is not that. If you chase extreme refresh rates above 300 Hz for narrow competitive titles, there are specialist panels that cater more directly to that niche. Where the INNOCN 49Q1S makes sense is for someone who wants immersive ultra-wide space for both productivity and gaming, OLED contrast for richer visual depth, flexible connectivity with USB-C hub functionality, a consolidated single monitor setup instead of dual displays. The trade-offs are size and desk footprint, and the fact that built-in audio doesn't replace good speakers. Also, with any OLED, long static content habits should be considered as part of usage patterns, not a defect of this panel, but a reality of the technology. So here's the balanced evaluation. This monitor delivers compelling widescreen immersion and strong responsiveness for a broad set of use cases. It isn't the fastest pure competitive panel, nor the smallest display for tight spaces, but it's cohesive and capable within its intended scope. In practical use, it feels like a unified upgrade over dual monitor setups for both work and play. Check current pricing below and evaluate it against your needs.